A certain Aquaman starlet is in a lot of trouble as Warner has now been forced to move Aquaman 2 to 2023, and the fun, it doesn't end there. See, all of this is because Warner, they are being forced into a courtroom, and all of this, it is causing big problems for a certain Aquaman starlet behind the scenes. Yeah, it's amazing how they've gone from "we won't bow to fan pressure" and that certain Aquaman starlet is the best thing for this movie ever, to reacting to the dozens of articles talking about how they're in the courtroom, that certain Aquaman starlet is fighting to keep their name out. Yeah, you and we're going to talk about this today, too. Oh, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. You gotta admit, this stuff, it is getting interesting. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Look at all of the articles that came out in the last day talking about Warner shuffling their schedule. And yeah, look at what movie is front and center. Aquaman 2. When you're looking at these headlines, that's the key word in all of this too. Shuffle. With all of this most certainly being Warner Damage Control, with them trying to salvage Aquaman 2 because of the upcoming JD versus that certain Aquaman starlet trial. By the way, that's going to hit next month, April 11th, 2022. Now, of course, Warner and their shill sites will never ever bring that up. No, they're going to blame it on beer bug delays. Everything was good until they got called into the courtroom. But of course, no, it's all because of the beer bug. Listen to this here. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Flash are both being pushed from 2022 to 2023 due to beer bug-induced production delays with visual effects. The Jason Momoa starring sequel is being pushed back from December 16th, 2022 to March 17th, 2023. Basically, you almost have a year between that trial and the movie that's coming up because they hope they will forget about what happened. Now, I imagine if Warner could, they would move a lot more movies around, or they would put things on streaming. But the reality is that Warner Brothers, they are now $58 billion, that's billion with a B, dollars in debt. Yeah, they can't afford any delays. So what they're doing is they're moving other movies into that now voided place. Quote, Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the only movie to move up a few months. The Zachary Levi starring pick is flying up from June 2nd, 2023 to December 12th, 2022, just in time for the Christmas season. So, they know that they need that slot there. It is a money-making slot, but what they're telling you is Aquaman 2, they know that thing, it isn't going to make money. Now, the damage control, it doesn't stop there, by the way. Oh no, not by a long shot, with Willy Wonka's origin story getting moved too. Now, what's interesting about this is that this was already a year out, with March 17th, 2023, but they didn't want it stacking up with Aquaman 2, so what they decided was to move it a lot further out. Listen to this. Quote, in non-superhero release move, Timothée Chalamet's turn as chocolatier Willy Wonka in the origin story Wonka is being pushed back several months from March 17th, 2023 to December 15th, 2023. Yeah, they don't want anyone making those parallels between that certain Aquaman starlet and JD, so again, they're not going to stack those up on the same month either. Now, sources have been telling me that all of that damage control is going to come at a significant cost to a certain Aquaman starlet who has already burned bridges with Disney through all of this, by the way. And Warner Brothers, they told them in no uncertain terms, you better not get us involved in this. You better not drag us into the courtroom. And that certain Aquaman starlet, like I've said in other videos, even provided proof of that by begging JD not to mention them in the courtroom. You can see it right here in this stipulation. I'm just going to read it very quickly. Defendant and counterclaim plaintiff, that certain Aquaman starlet, and plaintiff and counterclaim defendant, JD, hereby stipulate and agree to the following as it relates to discovery and trial in this matter. 1. The parties agree that neither that certain Aquaman starlet nor JD will include at trial any reference to Aquaman 2 for any reason, including but not limited to any evidence or references supporting or disputing that certain Aquaman starlet's damages as it relates to her counterclaims. Number 2, the parties agree that neither that certain Aquaman starlet nor JD will seek any additional discovery regarding Aquaman 2 for any reason, including but not limiting to agreeing not to depose non-party Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc. or seek any information related to Aquaman 2 from WME or any of that certain Aquaman starlet's current or former agents or publicists. Now, unfortunately for that certain Aquaman starlet, two things absolutely changed this game. First and foremost, this information did get out. I mean, why would JD care not to have it come out? Warner Brothers has absolutely burned bridges with him. It's not like it needs to protect him. And the media, they started talking about it. I mean, look at these 3 headlines right here. Giant freaking robot, that certain Aquaman starlet, allegedly fighting to keep JD from, talking about this stuff in the courtroom. Another one here. JD can't mention Aquaman 2 at the trial or he might face more issues. That certain Aquaman starlet tries to prevent more damage. And yet another one from Screen Rant. And there are dozens of them out here. They say the exact same thing. More important than any headline, though, is this decision right here. And it was a bad one for Warner Brothers. Why? Because they wanted to keep all of this out of a courtroom. They said this would be damaging and beyond to their brand. Well, a judge came back and said, you know what? You got involved in this stuff. So, yeah, you're going to have to answer some questions. Quote, "It is hereby orders. Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc.'s motion is granted in part, denied in part. First of all, the motion to quash or to keep it out of the courtroom, that stuff, it is denied. Now, the motion for protective order or to limit damages, that's granted as to a 2-hour limitation for JD. So, he can ask you anything he wants. He can have a grilling session on you, but he has to limit that to 2 hours and a 1-hour time limit as to that certain Aquaman starlet. Now, those 2 hours there, by the way, they do not include discussions regarding objections or subject areas explored, so you can't run out the clock by saying, I object to this question, I object to that question, we can't talk about these things. No, you're going to have to actually answer questions. Yep, it's like I've been saying for a while now. Warner Brothers, they are panicking behind the scenes, and when companies like this panic, somebody's got to pay. The person that's going to pay for this, well, it's the person that opened the door for the courtroom, bringing them up in counterclaims. Yeah, they are done, and they know it too. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work, so thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel in a different way. By the way, there are links in the description. We could always use your help too. But you being here, that is the biggest help of all. So thank you. Appreciate you. Ending here. See you soon.